Most men don't stay because they're in love. They stay because they're afraid. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of silence. Because silence reveals everything. Your doubts, your weaknesses, the version of you try to ignore, so you distract yourself with attention, with texting, with people who keep you from thinking. But here's the truth. Staying single isn't loneliness. It's a test. And most men fail because they're not strong enough to face who they are when no one's there. Most men will never admit this, but they're not afraid of losing a woman. They're afraid of losing distraction. Because when a relationship ends, or when they're finally alone, something uncomfortable happens. There's no noise, no message, no one to fill the silence. And that's when reality hits. You start to see the gaps, the lack of purpose, the habits you've been avoiding, the version of yourself you've been running from. So instead of facing it, most men rush back into something, another conversation, another situationship, another source of validation, not because it's right, but because it's easier, because staying busy feels better than feeling empty. But here's the truth most men never face. If you can't sit alone in peace, you'll always be controlled by anything that gives you attention. Most men don't realize this, but they're not addicted to women. They're addicted to validation. That small hit, when your phone lights up, when she replies, when someone shows interest, it feels good, instant, easy. And over time, you start depending on it. You check your phone without thinking. You reread messages, looking for meaning. You wait for a response to feel okay again. That's not connection. That's dependency. And the worst part is, it slowly rewires you. Your mood starts depending on attention. Your confidence starts depending on responses. Your sense of self starts depending on someone else's interest. So you give more, text more, try more, not because you're strong, but because you need something back. And the moment she pulls away, you feel it. Because you weren't in control, you were just chasing another hit. And this is where everything changes. Because when the noise disappears, you're left with yourself. No distractions, no validation, no one to escape into. Just you and your thoughts. At first, it feels uncomfortable, restless, almost heavy. You reach for your phone, then stop. Because there's nothing there to fix this feeling, and that's when it hits you. The thoughts you've been avoiding start getting louder. Doubts, regret, questions you never answered. Who am I, really? What am I building? Why am I not where I want to be? This is the moment most men run from, because it's easier to distract than to confront. But if you stay there, if you don't escape, something powerful happens. You start seeing clearly, not the version you show the world, but the truth. And that truth is where real change begins. And if you don't run from that moment, this is where real power starts to build. Because now, you're not distracted. You're focused. No constant checking. No emotional highs and lows. Just clarity. And with that clarity comes control. You start doing things even when you don't feel like it. You build discipline. Small at first, then stronger. You wake up with purpose. You work without needing motivation. You move without needing approval. That's masculine discipline. And most men never reach it because they never stay still long enough. But when you do, your standards change. You stop chasing attention. You start building something real. Your time becomes valuable. Your energy becomes protected. Your focus becomes sharp. And slowly, you become the man who doesn't need the world's validation to know who he is. And here's the part most men misunderstand. It's not that women don't care. It's that they respond to something deeper. They feel it before you say a word. A man who is grounded moves differently. He's not rushing, not over-explaining, not trying to impress. There's no neediness in his energy, no pressure, no hidden agenda. And that's rare, because most men are trying to be liked. But a man who is comfortable alone doesn't need that. He listens more, speaks less, chooses carefully, and that creates a different kind of presence. Calm, steady, unshaken. You can't fake that. It comes from discipline, from self-respect, from not needing constant attention to feel complete. And when a woman feels that, she doesn't just notice you. She respects you because you're not there to be chosen. You're there because you chose to be. And this is where the shift becomes dangerous, because now you're not the same man anymore. You don't need attention to feel valuable. You don't need constant contact to feel secure. You're calm, even when things go quiet. You're focused, even when no one's watching. And that changes everything. You stop reacting. You stop chasing. You stop overthinking every little signal. Instead, you observe. You choose who deserves your time. You choose what deserves your energy. You choose how you show up. That's the difference. Before, you needed connection to feel complete. Now, you are complete, and connection becomes a choice. And that's power. Because when a man reaches this level, he's not easily pulled off his path. No emotional games, no mixed signals, no temporary attention can control him. He's grounded. And once you reach that point, you don't go back. And here's the truth most men won't accept. Most men will never reach this. Not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable. Because it requires sitting in silence, without escaping. No distractions. No easy validation. No one to hide behind. Just discipline, day after day. And most men won't do that. They'll go back to what's familiar. Back to chasing attention. Back to needing someone to feel okay. Because it's easier than facing yourself. Easier than building something real. Easier than becoming someone different. But the few who stay, the ones who embrace that silence, who build themselves without needing approval, they become rare. Not louder, not flashier, just unshakable. And in a world full of men chasing everything, they become the ones who are chosen last, because they choose themselves first. If this hits you, it's not by accident, because somewhere in this video, you saw yourself, the distractions, the habits, the need for validation you don't talk about, and now you have a choice. You can go back to chasing attention, to filling the silence, to staying comfortable, or you can sit with it, face it, build from it, become stronger because of it. Because the truth is, staying single isn't about being alone. It's about becoming the man who no longer needs anything to feel complete. So here's my question for you. What's one thing you've been using as a distraction instead of working on yourself? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're ready to become the man who doesn't chase attention but creates it naturally, hit subscribe. Because once you reach this level of clarity, you don't go back.